Hello, my friends. Today we're going to be doing really important work for you. We're going to be rewiring your brain because if you have any bad energy, bad thoughts in that brain of yours, then you're just going to be really sad, and who wants that, right? So today I'm going to be getting in there with my tools, and we're going to be taking all those wires and neurons, and we're just going to be cranking and twisting them and basically hot wiring your brain. Okay, we're going to give it a quick restart, a reset, and we're going to just change the way that you're thinking. Okay, because we know that negative thoughts really influence our ability to be grateful and see the good in life. And so we just want to make sure that any negative thoughts, especially about yourself, are eliminated. We don't need them. We don't need them. We need to take them and get rid of them. Okay, so if you're ready, let's start rewiring. First things first, we're just going to take a couple of intake questions here. I have a notebook right here, and I'm just going to get a little bit of your information, okay? Beautiful. So, what brings you in for this brain rewiring session? Okay. All right. What brings you in? And why do you think you're unable to relax? Negative self-talk. That's valid. Yeah, that's a really tough one because it's a hard one to stop, right? Okay, so when you're doing negative self-talk, what types of things are you finding that are repeating in your head? Okay, I totally understand. Anything else? Okay. All right. How old are you? And have you had a brain rewiring done before at all in your life? Okay. So let me just start by saying that it's not going to hurt. You might feel some slight tingling, but that's just normal, okay? So what I'm going to start with is just taking a small needle, and we're just going to go through your third eye, all right? Don't be afraid. The inside of your brain can't feel anything. You might just feel a little pinch when it goes right through the skin barrier, but don't worry. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so I just have this needle. Yeah. Yes, that's right. I do sewing on the side of my brain rewiring session, so definitely a gene of all trades, all right? Okay, so this is the needle, and we're just going to ensure that it's nice and safe. Don't worry. Okay. Are you ready? We're gonna go right into your brain, okay? 3, 2. So I'm just going to start taking a look, getting you comfortable with the thought of someone being in the brain. Yep. Seeing a little bit of self-doubt already. A little bit of hesitation about the whole rewiring in itself, which I don't take offense to. I totally get it. I see you feeling confused about your path right now. You feel called to do something different with your life, but you're worried everyone's going to judge you. I see some childhood trauma, nothing new there. Okay. Yep. All right, I think we're in. Good job. Didn't hurt, right? I told you it wouldn't. All right, so we're just gonna start chopping away, essentially. And while I do that, I really want you to think about all the things that you love about yourself, okay? It's gonna help us to start immediately rewiring. So everything I cut, it needs to go somewhere, right? So we need to just build it a new road, build it a new pathway, okay? And by thinking positive things about yourself, you're gonna help us get there, okay? So you're gonna help grow those pieces. So I don't want you thinking anything negative. All right, so we're gonna start with this one, which is shame. Shame around rest and joy. So I even see inability to eat snack. So I just want you to think to yourself, hey, you know what? I'm allowed to enjoy being alive, and I'm allowed to enjoy the nutritious, wonderful things that come with that, including snacks, food, drinks. You're allowed to have fun. Beautiful. We're just gonna nip that one right in the bud real early, okay? And as well, down here, going with the same idea, is that you aren't allowing yourself to rest. Okay. Now, to make it really clear that without rest, you're unable to perform at your best and be your best and most creative version of yourself. So you absolutely need to rest. So let's just get rid of that one and remind yourself that you are allowed to take your time. You don't have to perform for anybody. You can chill. It's all good. The world's not going to fall apart if you take a minute or two. Okay. Up here I see some pain around. Feeling like you're not good enough. Imposter syndrome. So let's just... That is not true. If you can do something or you want to learn something, you are allowed to do that. You are allowed to be good at the thing. There's no such thing as being bad at the thing. We just experience things, some more swiftly than others. There's no need to label it as good or bad. We just do the thing, okay? Good, wonderful. So get that out of your head. You're not an imposter for learning. You're just deepening your understanding of yourself and life. Beautiful. Now down here I see a little bit of inability to trust your intuition. So I just want to get rid of that one because that's silly. It keeps us feeling really stuck. If you can't trust your own gut, then you're not able to follow that internal compass, okay? So instead, we're gonna think, I am guided. I know what's best for me. Nobody can tell me what's best for me. That is for them to decide for themselves, and I have the power to decide for myself how I want my life to look. Beautiful. So we're just gonna lock these new pathways in using this. So I'm just gonna come in here and just crank that one. Perfect. And down here we're just gonna crank this one. And I'm going super tight because I don't want these to jiggle out of place. We're doing important work here, and you deserve to feel the full benefits without having to come back, right, for a tightening. Beautiful. And one more down here. We were working on this one. And Yep, just get right in there. Oh, beautiful. Well done. You feel a little bit better, already? I'm not surprised at all. That's exactly what this is. We're skipping all the hard affirmation, self-concept work, moving straight into just neuroplasticity on its own. You don't even have to work for it. It's just there, right? We're just creating new pathways because essentially every negative thing you tell yourself is really just an illusion. There's no basis of truth in it. Not at all. It's just something you've been telling yourself for years and never really thought to question, right? You aren't your negative thoughts, and you aren't the negative things you think about yourself. Fascinating, right? Okay. You also aren't the negative things that everyone tells you or that everyone told you growing up. Isn't it quite empowering to just say, no, I'm not? All right, so the next step is just a little bit deeper because I'm going to go into the subconscious, okay? Yeah. Unfortunately, we can't do any of the deep, dark work unless we're in the subconscious. And the subconscious essentially is everything that's ever been told to you, every idea you have of yourself in the world, while being also conveniently topped on top of deep survival mechanisms that keep us from essentially our brains feeling like it's going to keep us alive and safe. So it's essentially just a map of every painful thing you've ever been through, and your brain's way of telling you, like, we're not going to let this happen again. So if you want to think of it a little more negatively, it's kind of like a cage of your own thoughts. So we really can't do this work unless we get there. Yeah. So if you don't mind, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to see every single thing about you. But like I said before, I don't judge. It's your life. I've probably been in similar situations or something similar in some way. At least maybe the pain has felt similar, okay? But I'm not going to judge your experience. However, I need you to be open enough to show me because it's the only way we can fix it. And you did come here because you wanted assistance, right? You can do this work for yourself, but it's a lot easier when we can just slice the pathways, right? All right, so let's go in. It's a lot easier if I just use my fingers. So if you don't mind, I'm going to kind of dig through that subconscious, okay? We're going to get right to the root. All right, so. Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of self-doubt here. I'm seeing some bullying. I'm seeing lots of pain, lots of trauma, where you felt you've had to fight for things. Maybe the world wasn't listening to you. So maybe you feel your voice isn't quite as strong as it could be. I understand that. Okay. Yeah. I'm seeing some of your deepest pains as well as some of your most wonderful accomplishments. Good job. You've done some fabulous things in your life. I want you to think about that while we're doing this work, okay? All right, so let's go into those childhood wounds. I want you to think of those accomplishments that I just saw. You know what I'm talking about. Fabulous. You're powerful. A wonderful person with so much to be proud of. So much that you've done. So much incredible accomplishments. But you still see yourself as a sad little kid. We need to quit that right now, okay? I want you to remind yourself of all the ways that you've transcended that, even without believing it. Because you've done beautiful things with your life that deserve recognition as opposed to fear. Okay? We're just going to lock that in, okay? I am worthy. I am powerful. I am accomplished. I am not the things that people have told me I am. I am not my fear. I have the capacity change. I can change who I am any minute. I do not need to be held down by old things I've done, by the people I may have hurt in the process. I can forgive myself as well as others for my mistakes and theirs, because we move on. The past is the past. It's over. We are dealing with tiny little pathways, right? So connecting and orbiting each other in a familiar fashion, similar to the way our universe spins and spins in a familiar way, over and over and over and over. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Your mind is like a garden. We're just trimming weeds, that's all. Just trimming weeds. Okay? Beautiful, beautiful. So continue thinking about all those things you really like about yourself. Not the things you want to change. I already saw that. I'm working on it. All the things you like. We're just gonna fill those spaces, okay? That one trauma right there, this one, you could tell yourself something different. How about that you're amazing, wonderful, fantastic, strong, beautiful, confident, fabulous, resilient. Okay, let's put that there. Just gonna lock that in place, okay? And how about this one? Right here. That was a childhood one. Snip, okay. You bullies. How about you're not responsible for other people's shitty actions, and you don't have to hold that for the rest of your life. You're allowed to grow. Okay, how about this one? I think this one is like a deep feeling that you can't make money or that finances are never going to be okay. It's just chop. How about instead? It's money is a free currency, and money always comes back. There's always enough. There's always enough. There's always enough. Everything you spend comes back. And if we look in our past, which one's been more true? There's always enough. Is there not always enough? Even if it's little, it's still enough, right? You're still here. Let's just tighten that up. Money always comes back. The healthier my relationship is with money, the more money comes to me. Money is a relationship, and I love money. If I love money, money loves me. There we go. Boom. Okay. And up here I saw one too. This one's just one I could just feel. We don't need to say it out loud. It's personal. Just okay. Instead, we're just gonna tell ourselves, I'm not defined by that experience. I do not need to feel it anymore. I can learn, I can grow. People make mistakes. I'm not defined by them. Beautiful, well done. You did a fantastic job in today's session. I hope you feel light. You feel better? That's exactly what I want to hear. So if you do start to, basically we've completely rewired your brain at this point. That's what I do. So if you're feeling like you're developing new traumas as you go, because those ones won't come back, right? I got rid of them. But if you find you're having trouble with anything new, just give me a call. I travel all over the world, but I have a very quick, easy way to connect with you whenever you need it, the snap of your finger. So you can find me over and over again. Thank you for coming in. I wish you all the best and have a wonderful life, seeing it through the eyes of someone who is not defined by their pain and past. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.